Hi there folks, my name is Novawing24 and welcome back to another episode of the Three Grumpy Simmers. And once again, we have been the technically challenged Simmers for a significant period of the last lot of time synced. Anyway, moving on. So once again, I am joined by my fellow Grumpy Simmers. We've had a bit of a rearrangement here going on for some reason. So I'm joined once again by Sergio from helisimmer.com.
Hey guys.
And of course, we are joined by our very famous, very purple Tomcat aficionado, back once again with his ever-present demand for a Tomcat for every sim, Drew Bell Geode.
I just want to add, by the way, Sergio, you've just kicked everything up a notch with that background. I just can't take my eyes off that damn helicopter behind you.
Seriously, you're showing the rest of us up.
I've got a freaking sleigh bed here.
I've got an old PC and a Protoss pylon. I'm like, you know, you just.
I hear you. Yeah, that's the reason why I got it. It was a struggle. Every time I did something in video, it was a struggle. So yeah, I got this. I got Stefan, you know, the guy that did Krabby scenery and all those crazy sceneries. He did this one and did a few more. Did an excellent job. I love his work. So yeah, that's how I fixed it. No more tweaking the camera angle so you don't see the clutter and see, you know, am I going to be turned here or that? Nah, never. I just pop this thing here and yeah, off we go.
So he's basically showing us all up. So, you know, watch this space to see when the two of us gets on the road. But anyway, moving on. So you know, I must admit that gentlemen, actually, before we get into this, I must admit that I was slightly offended by one of the comments on one of our previous videos. But apparently we are not living up to our name. Apparently apparently people are trying to say that we should be renamed the Three Overly Happy Simmers. I disagree. I need to be grumpy more often. But
apparently those people don't go on Facebook. Do you know how many times we have to be like, I can't even.
I'm a head out. So yeah, it's possibly a bit more lighthearted, but yes, yeah, we are. Don't worry, we still get our fill of grumpiness every week, but we are actually here
every day.
Oh, so many groups. But in the spirit of that, the reason why I did bring that up is that we are actually here to bring a bit of Yuletide cheer to the simulation community this year. So once again, we've been able to count on many friends of the show, of the presentation, of our little band of grumpiness, and actually we're going to be able to, so stay tuned in this episode, because at the end of the episode we're going to give you guys a chance to be able to win some really cool prizes that our great fantastic sponsors have been able to make available to us. So you're going to have to stay tuned and listen to the end for this one. So, but just to give you a bit of a sneak preview for that, so stay tuned to the end. But on that note, we are going to sort of do a bit of navel fluff gazing for the year. We're going to sort of take stock of the year that was, and in our episode next week, we're going to cast our eyes long into the distant future of next year. So we're going to start there tonight. With this episode, with our cast back to the year that was 2019 in flight simulation, and I'm going to cast directly first of all to you, Drew, to tell us what was your most memorable and outstanding moment for simulation of 2019. He's thinking long and hard here, folks.
Yeah. We all are.
Wait, is that a side finger wag?
Well, no, it's not a side finger. Honestly, there are a lot of things to pick from for me. I mean, first and foremost, DCS, I got my Tomcat. Yes, yes.
He's one sim closer.
But that's just been the thing with 2019, and that's really the best way that I want to put it. 2019 has been kind of like a ramp up year. It's like as the months have gone by, there's just been something that's like one up the next thing. It's just crazy. So we had the DCS Tomcat come out. Of course, we had FSE, which entire world was given the Microsoft Boomflower shell. And then, of course, the rest of the year, everybody's just been like, what the hell just happened? Culminating with, of course, the Seattle experience, which if I had to pin, like, I guess one absolute moment where I think was like the aha moment of this year was actually being able to get hands on the sim and then following that up with being able to go in an actual Cessna with a CFI, with Cat, and go flying around Seattle. That right there just made the whole year for me. That's what I'm going to go with.
So sort of that real sort of, and that's something that we talk about actually. I loved how you sort of neatly sort of wrap that up there. Was the whole we talk about simming and when we talk about that phrase that shall not be named, but there is that thing where our simming experience can very much translate across into real world, and being able to sort of bridge that gap and bridge that divide as the three of us got to do in Seattle was pretty awesome. So that's great to see. And that
whole experience in September was just proof positive that we're so close to that convergence right now. Honestly, I can't wait to see what 2020 is going to bring for us.
Well, you're going to have to wait until at least next week to give us your forecast. So that's great, and I'm going to sort of roll that over onto you, Sergio. So same question to you, my European colleague and friend. What would you say was your outstanding, memorable moment from the simulation world?
The three of us were there, right? So it's kind of hard for the three of us not to provide the same answer.
Yeah, you can't top it.
But yeah, if you had to pick one moment, that would be it. Especially because, like you were saying, Tristan, before we started recording, because the three of us got finally together, and right there.
First time on the same continent.
For the first time ever. You already had met Drew. I had met Drew before at Flight Sim Expo earlier this year for the first time as well. So that was Flight Sim Expo was an amazing experience. My first time there, I met Drew for the first time as well. Met a few other guys for the first time. So it was an amazing experience. But
Shout
the fact
out
that
Rotorhead Lounge.
Yeah, with Frednar, it was just incredible. It was an incredible experience, and we might be getting something special ready for the next year. But yeah, the Microsoft Flight Simulation presentation in Renton, it wasn't just the presentation. It wasn't just the fact that we were able to try the sim and fly in a real Cessna. Like Drew said, it was my first time inside a small aircraft, first time in actually controlling an aircraft, a real one. But the whole experience, the fact that I met Drew for the second time, I met you for the first time, I met guys like Frugal and other guys from the community. We talked with the development team, and we managed to actually understand the passion they have for the sim, which is as much as we as fans have. The whole experience was the pinnacle of my flight simulation decade, perhaps even.
Well, we are rounding out the decade, so
Right.
Yeah, I can't remember of anything, or not. I don't think I can remember anything from the past decade that has topped the full experience of having all these things, all these rumble of emotions, at the same time. For this particular event, not just trying the new sim, but the whole fact, the whole thing of being with you and being with other simmers and so many people that are so passionate That right there was the pinnacle of my flight sim experiences here for sure. Yeah, it's hard not to be, and I'm pretty sure you're going to provide the same answer
I,
as it is.
I feel it
Were
feels
it not
kind of.
for Seattle, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what would the top experience be? FSE or
Yeah.
the other things that have released that we've been waiting for?
That's
It's hard to
Yeah.
really put
it's a
everything in context without
No,
Seattle.
don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. And I want to make this very clear because I cannot forget people that helped me, my friends.
mm,
The fact that I was able to go to attend both Flight Sim Expo and Cosford was because I have the support of good friends that allow me to do this and help me, especially for Cosford. I had a very good friend who wants to remain anonymous that helped me go to the event. The events were amazing, brilliant, fantastic. I'm not devaluing them or devaluing the experience that I had, which, Drew, you were right. It's absolutely Flight Sim Expo. It's an absolutely fantastic experience. But like I said, it was a full package of Renton that makes me place it on the top of my experiences here. But all the other events, just top notch thing, just top notch, guys.
and and uh and it's all about that experiences, and I love how that's a big thing that I think we all try and talk about, even when we're not rabbiting here as three grumpy simmers in our own sort of channels. And we always talk about experiences, and I think it's nice to see it's almost like a global phenomenon as well, sort of people valuing experiences more than other things as well. Um, and and it's funny actually, Drew, that you bring up that point of, if it wasn't for Microsoft dropping their boomflower explosive shell on everybody, um, seriously, props to those guys for keeping it secret for that long. Like, wow. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
what else would have been the highlight of the year? And in some ways I feel bad for other developers, but at the same time I also look at this year as very much a year about, and I think you both sort of hit on that a lot, and you can probably guess I'm probably going to hit on this as well, touch on this as well, is that this is a year of even setting aside that amazing experience at Renton. This has been a year of a community. I don't want to say licking its wounds, but a community sort of refiguring itself out, and sort of growing and realizing that we are stronger when we work together, when we sort of cooperate, when we help each other out. And I think that's something that's it's a message that we've all talked about here on this show many times, that we get to see. This community and this hobby and this passion gets to see both the best and the worst of humanity a lot of the times, where we see some of the best of the greatest ideas and support coming out, and then we also see people who are willing to shoot everything down and shut it all down very quickly as well. So we get to see both. And I think this year, even without Microsoft coming out and with their absolutely spectacular things, I think this was a year where this community really started to realize the importance of working together, and how more successful we can be, how we can produce some amazing quality products. Like, for example, the Helix Collective, as an example, the DCS A4 mod coming out. I mean, these are all examples of when we as a community work together and actually sort of come together to support each other and grow, and work together to support each other. We can do amazing things. And of course, the get the chance to add some extra time to my logbook was pretty awesome. To be able to do that at Renter, that was it's kind of funny because my logbook, the first entry of my logbook is a PC-21, and my second entry is a Cessna 172, and it's like, that's a little bit weird, kind of cool, kind of weird. So that's really awesome. But I want to. Because I was thinking long and hard about this, and absolutely I sort of came up with the whole thing of being able to get hands-on with that new sim, and being able to, fly in the new sim, and then literally step outside into the aircraft I just flew in the sim, in weather conditions I just flew in the sim, from an airfield, and taxiing on the ramp that I just flew in the sim. Like, that was pretty awesome. But then I thought about the community aspects, and that's why I sort of went on that little bit of a tangent just before, because I managed to, although I didn't manage to get to FS Expo this year, I did manage. Obviously, at Renton, the three of us got together and we got to have got to experience some great times together. We got to meet other members of the community. We got to have spend some time with Frugal, with Huey. All be able to spend some great time with great quality members and leaders of our community. But it's also the other people I managed to meet along the way. So it's flight simmers that we've met through both online and through real world. And for example, for those who may also or may not know, that I also do a personal vlog channel as well. And you may have seen on that I had some travel difficulties over when I was transiting through the US over Thanksgiving. And it meant that at one point it was basically meant that I was going to be stuck in a hotel room for Thanksgiving. But the members of our community, of our flight sim community, heard about that and would not have a bar of it. And actually a developer actually sort of called me and said, "You are coming to my house for Thanksgiving." I didn't get a choice.
That was a hallmark moment.
It was, and that's the. And for me, that really brought home the sincerity and the commitment that the most of our community, the majority of our community, have to each other. And that's a big thing. We see it many times. Sadly, we most often see it when a member of our greater cohort passes away. But it's great to see it in other ways, and that was amazing and wonderful time. So yeah, a bit of a side plug for my vlog channel there. But yeah, as I said, it was a really kind of cool, awesome experience there. So it's, for me, it was about the people this year. Meeting them at Renton and meeting them in other random ways, and how we as a community grow. And I think it's a for me, it has given me more hope for the future. I think it's possibly the best way to say that. This year has been a moment of people, and gives me hope for the future, for when we cast to look forward to. Would we not agree?
That's the whole thing, right? Yeah.
Right now, it definitely feels like we are like at the hold short. We're all in the plane, and we're getting ready to take off. We've taken care of all of the problems that we've had in the past, and we're clear to go. We've gone through our checklist. We just did our engine run up. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at as a community.
So next year it's brakes off, throttles up.
Yep.
That's it. Right. So
well, not for me. I use kids.
I was waiting for it. Come on, I was so close. All right. So, and of course, we will be back next week with vision, casting our eyes forward to the future as we gaze into a crystal ball. But if there's
2 more weeks, what?
One more week. Somebody's cat's not happy.
Crystal ball.
So, as we alluded to at the start of the episode, we have been blessed. So, not only we want to say thank you to all of you viewers for watching our shenanigans every month or so when we come out with them, but also many developers in the community have come and they're supporting us and actually giving you guys a chance to win some really cool prizes. So, we have a bit of a task for you today. So, we've been blessed and been offered some work from Nimbus, XRotors, Xtrident, VSKYLabs, Dreamfoil, and Just Flight. So we're offering 3 prize packs are going to be up for grabs for this this little prize. So it's going to be a chance for all of us to pick up best entries. So guys, your task, should you choose to accept it, there will be a link in the description down below to do this. It will be to click on the link, head over to the survey. There will be 2 questions there for you to fill out. So the first question will be for you to tell us what was your best simulation moment of 2019. So what was the moment where you experienced it? Was it something that you had when you got a new product from a new developer? Was an experience you had at Cosford or at Flight Sim Expo or one of the other expos around the world? There was the Australian one was just a couple of weeks ago. Or perhaps was it in a multiplayer experience? Did you have a great experience, or maybe in a single player experience? Did you like have an aha moment for you? What was your best simulation moment of 2019? The second question, of course, is going to be the one that we will be giving our answers for next week, which is what do you want to see in what do you want to see the most in 2020? So we're going to let that one a little bit open. We'll let you guys decide what you want to see because, although Microsoft have definitely got, they're rather large. They are the elephant in the room, but, there is more than just Microsoft out there. So what is it that you want to see the most? What are you looking forward to the most in 2020? So we'll let you guys give us your answers for that. So the three of us are going to read all of your answers that come through, and we are going to pick our favorite ones from that. We're going to read them out on the episode next week, and we're going to award a prize to each one. So as I said, there are 3 prize packs available. So the first prize pack will be the Nimbus Huey and the XRotors AW139, both for X-Plane. The second prize pack will be the Xtrident Bell 412 and your chance to pick one of the VSKYLabs helicopter range. Also both for X-Plane, and the third prize pack will be for the Dreamfoil Bell 407 for X-Plane, and one of Just Flight's GA aircraft from one of their in-house collection, which you can choose the sim for it, whether it be the ESP sims, whether it be X-Plane, or whether it be Aerofly. It's up to you guys. So when you put your entry in, also let us know which one would be your preferred prize pack in order. Alright, so as I said, the link will be in the description down below for you guys to click on that and fill that one out, and we will be announcing that on this episode next week. Entries close on midnight, Friday the 13th at midnight Zulu, so you have until 23:59.
Could be lucky for some.
Exactly, could be lucky for some, could be lucky for three lucky viewers. So as I said, you have until 23:59 Zulu on Friday the 13th to be able to and put your entry in, and we will be drawing shortly after that one. So that rounds it out for me. Anything from my 2 fellow grumpy simmers as we round out our reflection on the year that was?
Not for me. Not right now.
For the next episode. I can't wait for the next episode.
I'm terrified about what anyway.
I love giving away stuff. Ask any of the girls that I work with. I'm like forever buying everybody lunch and stuff like that. They all think I'm like money bags. Where is True getting all this money? I'll never tell.
Well, he's got a webcam, Anyway, so he's got a webcam and a hat. So there you go.
If you see me on the pole this season, mind your business. Christmas coming.
Make sure you throw in a couple of extra ones his way. All right, folks. So thank you very much for joining us throughout the year and for this episode. And we look forward to catching you on the next episode. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos. And also, don't forget to head over to Drew Belgio's channel for catching up some of his awesome tomcattery and other exploits around the simulation world. And of course, over to helisimmer.com with his weekly flyby and wrap up of flight simulation, helicopter simulation news from the week that was. And of course, as always, don't forget to possibly throw a like and subscribe my way as well. All right, folks, thanks very much for joining. Don't forget, you can also listen to the podcast on Podbean, or if you have been listening to the podcast on Podbean, you can see this episode with pretty pictures and our ugly mugs on YouTube as well. I still love that line on the website. I really do love that. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care. Link for the competition is in the description down below. We're going to go before Drew has a heart attack, and we will catch you guys on the next episode. Ciao!
Ciao.